All right, Gordon. Well, I that's it for my questions for you. You got one for me?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that because of certain similarities in our style, I really feel like I want to ask you this. So, like me, you have always been known for your knack for attracting kind of reluctant or hard to reach readers, sometimes but not always boys. And my question is this for you a conscious decision that you make in your own writing, or is it something that happens really, really naturally?
I gotta say that there is an overt decision to laser in on boys with some of my projects. There's no doubt about it. And it's not to the exclusion of girls in a way, but it seems just almost undeniable that boys are struggling in our schools to a greater extent than girls are, sort of writ large, to stereotype some things. And reading and literacy, I mean, this is sort of what I've dedicated my own personal career to. And without those skills, where are you in sort of the 21st century in a way? And I so believe that the best way to build readers and writers is through joy, fun, engagement, imagination, really diving in. I come at it from a perspective of if you can just open up that doorway one time for them to experience something that shakes them, rocks them, freaks them out, spooks them, makes them laugh, makes them cry, makes them feel that it's a drug unlike any other to be gotten from any other medium. I mean, I love movies. TV is doing some great stuff. We have radio, we have whatever. But when you are lost in a book and you hit that chapter and it's 1:30 in the morning and you turn the page like, oh my goodness, I gotta keep reading. I gotta know. There's no place else that exists. And when you can awaken that in boys, it almost seems to serve them well for the rest of their life.
You're really wise. I was just on tour with Tim Green, the football player slash author for a while, and he made an interesting point, which is it's terrible that there are so many boys who are non-readers, but for every single one of those kids, they are only one book away from loving reading. You know,
Wow, that's well said.
and what you and I try to do is to be that one book, right? I mean, it's not always us, but it's going to be somebody, and that's the good news.
Yeah, well, absolutely. We try, and to think about how many times that you have been that one book for so many kids since 1978. You're like established.
78.
That is great right there. But yes, I definitely am trying to sort of keep boys front and center for this part of my career, and there's no doubt that by the titles that you're doing, you can see that boys are, directly in that zone. And don't teachers and librarians almost seem to thank us for it?
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it. It's a good place to be, and it is really, really rewarding. I mean, how many times you get emails and letters from this kid saying, I never read a book cover to cover until
Right.
yours came along, and
Yeah. I mean, how hard is it to get a seventh grade girl to read? Come on, show me a seventh grade boy.
yeah, no, but I mean, I think of my own son, who is now in high school, but the books that sort of found him, like the Alex Rider books and the Alchemist, that sort of fantasy series, and
Love it. Love it.
he was a Lemony Snicket fan for a while. I mean, it was like the big boy series over the years that really kind of kept him in the game, reading wise.
And and without that in their lives, it's just, it doesn't matter what they're reading, it just matters that they read,
Yes.
because it will eventually turn into something wonderful. And letting them self-select is so important, because their diet may morph into nonfiction, political fare, sports, whatever. Who really cares? It's just
Yeah.
illiteracy is what the issue is. It's not what you read, it's do you read.
No, absolutely. And the amazing thing is, you see all these parents who are like, Well, how come I can't get my kids to read more award-winning books? You know, how come they all they do is they read, you know, this one series, Goosebumps or whatever it is. You know, it's like think about most of the adults you know. How many people read sort of an omnivorous diet for as adults? You know, we tend to find our genres that we love, our authors that we love. We tend to read pretty narrowly inside a series or inside a genre. I mean, it's just human. So why would we expect a kid in sixth or seventh grade to be any different than how adults are?
Yeah, and